and welcome to BST Weekly. My name's Joey Kane and this is Tim Blacker, and what an introduction that is. This is our NBA edition of BST Weekly. Tim, you've been away, welcome back, and I love the shirt you've got on there.
Thank you, Joey. Yes, got away, got refreshed, needed that trip, but Michael Coleman, thank you very much for filling in for me while I was away. Some great shows, and we'll continue to do our work here. But yeah, you did mention the shirts, Joey. I'll just pull that out straight. We are getting serious here at BST. We have shirts, see the Twitter handle down the bottom there. We're getting somewhere. The set, if you're wondering why there's no set, it's because it's a work in progress. We're working on a new set. So look, everything is taking off here at BST, and we've got some basketball to talk about today.
Before we do, I just want to mention these shirts are going to be on sale to the public. And you can hit us up on our private messages or DM us on Twitter if you want to get onto those. But as you said, been a lot of action in the NBA since you left. We had the All-Star break and the All-Star weekend, and that was... I think we'll kick it off talking about that. You did not miss a thing. Normally, we all love the All-Star week and we love the festivities and the circus that goes around with it.
Yeah.
But it was the worst All-Star weekend in history for mine. I've never seen a worse one.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I didn't see any of it. I was thankful for that because all I've heard is that it was pretty poor. Now, that's a shame because it's their marquee event. Why do you think it was so poor this year?
Well, let's start off with the dunk contest. Terrence Ross won that.
I've actually never heard of that man.
Yeah, well, you should have. No, look, Terrence Ross is an up-and-coming player who the fans love him.
Yeah.
But the dunk wasn't spectacular. It was nothing. And I mean, the thing for mine, you can't allow the participants to have, unlimited attempts.
No, there's got to be a cap on that, doesn't there? I mean, it sort of takes the whole magic around the dunk away when they've stuffed it up 6 times prior. So, look, I mean, that's the dunk contest, though. Previous years have been fantastic, but unfortunately this one didn't live up to the expectation. It's
been said, pardon me, in all corners of the media, you need the big names in the dunk contest.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the big names, it's going to be a subpar product. But
why aren't the big names in?
Well, they've got nothing to gain. They've only got reputation to lose. I mean, LeBron, for instance, who everyone wants to see in the dunk contest, what does he gain from participating in it? I guess a lot. Not really. He's already regarded as the best dunker in the league and hasn't even participated in one. And if he goes there in the dunk contest and misses a few and his dunks aren't that spectacular, he just loses reputation and a bit of mystique.
Yeah, but I mean, they spruik about NBA, the NBA that isn't their fans. When you're watching Game Pass or something like that at half time or in timeout breaks, they've got ads, as you would have seen, We Care and all this sort of stuff. Or if they really, I don't see it too much of an effort to put a shirt on for the dunk contest, to be honest. But, I can see why they don't do it, which, why you pointed out. But seriously, it wouldn't hurt for big names. No.
And the skills contest, I can't even remember who won that. The point guards, obviously Tony Parker was defending, and you had, I think Damian Lillard might have got it, but I watched it and I just thought they're not trying. They ran around haphazardly, not caring. Jeremy Lin was there as well, and it was boring at best. And the All-Star game itself was uneventful. Kevin Garnett was...
Well, he only played 6 minutes. Yeah. Is there any... Did he get injured? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. But why did he...
As we said, he should never have started in the first place, as we well and truly knew. But... Look, that's not our call, is it?
The three-point contest was actually pretty interesting. Obviously, you had your Ryan Andersons, Steve Novak, Kyrie Irving, and others, but it was really interesting. Kyrie Irving was the eventual winner, and he came out with a real point to prove, and he tried, which is the most exciting and watchable thing about it, because we all know what a rising star Kyrie Irving is in the league, and for him to come out and prove a point really by winning that. It was pretty nice to see. But another good thing, the rookie and sophomore mixed, I think they call it the Rising Stars game. Team Shaq and Team Chuck was good as well. But you didn't miss much, mate, to be honest. So, yeah.
I did hear that a few players stepped up, though, quite big in the rookie game. One who we know is a good player already, but Kenneth Fareed, I believe, went beast mode.
Sure did. Tore the house down. Yep.
Yeah, and what did he get, 40 points or something? Close to?
Oh, could be.
I'm pretty sure he got
really?
39.
Okay.
40,
he definitely killed it, so yeah.
No, that's impressive. But yeah, look, we move on.
Kyrie was good in that game too as well.
Yeah, well, Kyrie put in one hell of a shift, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's played in that game, his dunk contest, and the All-Stars game itself. So, look, that's good for Kyrie. He's a great young player and will be one of the great players in the game in the next couple of years. So, yeah, but now we move on to the more important stuff.
Let's get into some of the real news. The first thing we want to talk about here, I'll put my glasses on because...
This is your serious face. This
is the serious face for those of you at home. By the way, just want to mention my beard. I've said it in our other show. I take credit for bringing the bow tie back into fashion probably 3 years ago, and I'm going to say it again. The beard, James Harden can thank me for his success with his beard. It was me who brought the beard back. Just saying. Just saying. But Kobe says, speaking about players saying things, and we always talk about Kobe and what he says, but he says that playoffs are not a question. I'm going to quote him directly here. He says that it's not a question of if we make the playoffs, we will. And when we get there, I have no fear of anyone. Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Denver, whoever. I have zero nervousness about that. He went on to say, we will make the playoffs and we will compete, and part of the reason I have that confidence is the Miami game, where they did have control of the game. He says we had control of the game. That was no fluke. We were playing very, very well. We were reading the defense, making the extra pass. Okay, they have two great players, LeBron and Wade, who we know, who scored 8 straight buckets and took control of the game, but we were right there. We can do it. Now, they did lose that, but they were in control for most of it. So I do agree with him on that one. What are your thoughts on the Lakers? Not a question, making the playoffs.
Well, look, I don't know. I think they've just got a bit too much talent on the list not to make the playoffs. I think they will. I think they'll sneak in at 7 or 8. But look, I reckon they'll be out in the first round. I can't see them beating OKC or the Spurs in 7. I just can't see it, to be honest. What about you?
Not this year.
Yeah.
Nash is, shadow of his former self. Dwight is... Well, let's talk about Dwight for a minute. He will leave Los Angeles at the end of the year, I reckon, and go back to Brooklyn where he always wanted to go.
Did he leave already?
I reckon he will.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure though.
He doesn't play with any energy or enthusiasm or passion that he once had. I think he left Orlando and wanted to go to Brooklyn, obviously. He stated that. Went to LA. It hasn't worked out. He and Kobe haven't got on. He's not getting the attention and the modelly coddling that he wants, and I think he'll leave.
So does Brook Lopez go to the Lakers?
I don't think the Lakers are... I think Mitch Kupchak and that are smarter than to take on Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard. I think there need to be a third team involved, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe Brook Lopez will be part of it, but...
Well, it's one to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We'll move on to Kevin Love. Speaking of teams that... boring you, are we, Tim?
No, not boring me, Joey. I'm just quite tired. I'm still a bit lagged from my trip, but carry on.
Aeroplane lag, as they say in the terrible new movie of The Karate Kid. Anyway, Kevin Love hopes to play 15 to 20 games this year. We talk about the Lakers who may or may not sneak into the playoffs, the Timberwolves. Is it right for Love to come back if they're not going to make it? And there's a lot of questions. Are they going to make it? Can they still make it?
No, they won't make it. No. But, look, if he's good to go, then yeah, that's fine. Bring him back. But I don't know. It's a weird one. I mean, I really would have loved to see how they would have gone this year if Kevin was in the whole year. But look, you can't write the script how you want it all the time. But look, he'll come back, and if he does, you know, they'll win. They'll at least, I reckon, they'll split their games if he comes back and he is fit. At least split their games. So, look, I mean, just for anyone's sake, Minnesota sending him back on the court. Simple as that.
Yep.
There was such optimism leading into this year, and I mean, Kirilenko and Peck and Rubio all playing good basketball, and if they can get Love back in that mix as well, then yeah, I mean, they're a good side.
Yep.
If they get it back, but yeah, it hasn't happened this year.
True. I think we'll move on from that because that's pretty much says it all. But probably the most interesting thing, since you've been away, I love a bit of a stoush, and our favourite owner, probably, Mark Cuban, has come out and said that the Lakers could avoid paying the luxury tax by dumping Kobe Bryant through the amnesty clause. Firstly, what are your thoughts on that call? Firstly.
No, it's ridiculous. That won't happen.
Don't like it?
Will not happen. It's a very silly call. What do you think?
Oh, I love a bit of the. Well, first off, let's just analyse what he said. It's true what he said. They could avoid paying the luxury tax if they dump Kobe. And Kobe, as we know, hasn't been the player he normally is this year. And if the Lakers find that, you know, Steve Nash is ageing, Dwight Howard doesn't want to be there, Kobe, they're not going to win championships configured as they are. Let's be honest. Now, how do they go about changing it? Well, Dallas, Mark Cuban, let everyone go except Dirk. Really, they just blew it all up, and you know. So it's not a rude comment to say, well, rude to Kobe, but it's not a particularly stupid comment to say that. I don't think it does make sense.
Well, it's the sole reason they kept Dirk, though.
Yeah,
because Dirk's the heart and soul of the franchise.
Well, you said that. Let me say what happened from Kobe's end.
Okay.
Kobe scored 38 points when they beat the Mavs by 4 points. And he tweeted after the game, amnesty that, in capitals. And then he's gone on to...
Fair to say he was waiting to get that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's gone on to say to reporters, I'm sure if he wants to amnesty Dirk, that's something we'll be willing to entertain. So, I mean... you know, Kobe's not happy about it, but surely he has thicker skin than to get that rolled up about a Mark Cuban comment.
I would like to think so, but evidently not. He doesn't have that thicker skin. So
it's a big worry.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. But look, I mean, it's all just fun and games, and as you said, I don't mind the banter attached to it at all. So look, it's no biggie for mine, to be honest. But look, why don't we just we'll skip the news for a sec. We'll come back and talk about some more b-ball stuff. But I just want to let's just get up the conference ladders here, and then we'll talk our way through it. So we'll just get that up now. But do you want to start us off on the Eastern Conference there, Joey?
Yeah, look, obviously Miami Heat, as we all know, will win the conference at this stage. We thought for a long time it'd be between them and the Knicks, but the Knicks have dropped off the pace. And speaking of pace, the Pacers moving up into second. They're having a great little season.
Yeah, oh look, they've been fantastic, and we've always been plaudits of them on this show. And look, you can't fault them at all. The Knicks there, as you mentioned, very reliant on Carmelo for mine. Far too reliant. I know I get shot down a bit for saying that, but no Melo, no chance of getting anywhere out of the Eastern Conference.
I thought you were going to say Chandler, because he's been sensational. Tyson Chandler.
We love Chandler.
He is underrated still, Tyson Chandler, and he has been a beast for them as well. Amari coming off the bench at times. He is not the same Amari that we know and love. Raymond Felton's back playing now after his injury, and yeah, look, I don't know. Enough about those guys. They'll be thereabouts though when the whips are cracking. The Bulls, just should they bring Rose back this year?
Only if he's right.
Yeah.
Only if he's right. Do not bring him back if he's not, because then that'll just ruin him for next year and his career as well. If he does another knee back-to-back like that, not just the injury, that would totally ruin him psychologically as well. It's so hard to come back from a knee injury like that, so don't bring him back. Brooklyn, they're in 5th. They're a pretty dangerous side floating around there. That Bulls Nets tie would be pretty big if it finished like that.
Do you reckon? I don't back the Nets in playoffs basketball at all, unless Joe Johnson turns it on like he did the other day and becomes clutch, which he sometimes is. But yeah, I don't rate Deron Williams. That sounds ridiculous to say that, I know, but I hate Deron Williams. I hate his mentality, I hate his attitude, I hate the way he goes about it. He's got talent, but he is not a good leader, if I'm lying.
Fair enough.
Atlanta Hawks, look, they will talk about some of the trades that went through. They kept hold of Josh Smith, so they'll be looking to load up again and have another crack at it. And when you left, Tim, the Boston Celtics, Rondo went down and they went on a tear. They won 7 or 8 in a row, and they look in contention to have another run at it at this point.
Stop it. Stop it. It's not going to happen.
What?
It can't keep happening.
It is, though.
Well, I know it is, but they're going to make playoffs. We said they wouldn't, but look, they're not going to beat Indiana.
Probably not.
In a series of 7, not a chance. But look, credit for them for fighting it out the way they are, but still they need to blow that joint up. Milwaukee in 8th there.
Got better. We'll talk about that in a minute, but
have definitely got better, yeah.
Couldn't beat Miami.
Could not beat Miami at all. Toronto there, the ones that have made the big push up since I've left, actually.
Yep.
So look, they're looking all right.
They've been on the tear as well.
Not so much for this year, but next year could really be a really interesting one to watch.
Those changes they made look to be proving a winner at this point in time. The Sixers, well, what can we say about them? Disappointing.
Well, I've been pumping them up. I have, and I won't shy away from that. But I watched them the day I got back, so what was that, Thursday, and I know they're missing a few, Bynum and Jason Richardson, but Jason Richardson's old now. They're no good, Joey. And I've backed them in this whole season, but now I'm saying they're no good.
Evan Turner, Drew Holiday.
Yeah, they're right. They're no good.
Wow.
No good. Will not make playoffs this year, next year, any year in the near future.
Should have held on to Iggy.
Yeah, had to.
But Detroit Pistons, they're looking all right for future years as well, speaking of those guys. The Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving, can't wait for Varejao to get back next year and to see what type of damage the Cavaliers can do in a pretty weak East, to be honest. I reckon if they can pick up another year in a Tristan Thompson and guys like Dion Waiters, they will be dangerous next season. Not so much this year. If they can get another high pick, that'll be really good for them. Yeah. The Wizards, who we called this, we said that they were much better than a bottom side team.
Would move up, and that's exactly what they're doing. The Magic there, they've put the bomb in it for the year.
Tank.
Yeah, they're tanking. You don't like to hear it, but they are. There's no point in them pushing on anymore.
Not in terms of play on court. Just they've sold any player who is anywhere near an A grade level.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. And our favourite, the Bobcats, and a shout out to Caleb Slater as well, who
Slater, but yes.
Oh, it's Slater. Yeah. Sorry.
The silent C gets everyone. C.
Not necessary. It's like 2 A's. It's like 2 A's in Aaron. Not required. But we move on to the Western Conference now. The Spurs looking fantastic still.
Of course they are. They are the best team in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
They have been for most of the year. They have been for the past 3 or 4 years. And Tony Parker should be in the MVP conversation. He's been that good.
Yep, no, he's been fantastic. OKC, the Clips, and Memphis round out a pretty strong top 4.
Tough top 4 to get past. They will be the 4 teams vying to make their conference finals for mine.
Yeah, it'll be really good series in the West. Denver, handy side as well, and Golden State. 5 and 6, they're just going on, and that top 6 will stay the same for mine, Joey. Are you
Yeah,
thinking the
yeah,
same?
they will.
I don't think Utah can get above Golden State.
No chance. But for mine, and I've said it, and I'm like a bleating lamb about this, I love the Golden State Warriors. And I love the way they've gone about things, and I am seriously rooting for them to make it through. I love what they're the most exciting team to watch in basketball.
Yeah, David Lee, a very big part of that as well, as is your man Steph Curry. But
well, it's not just that's the thing though. It's not just those guys. They got so many underrated players. You Klay Thompson, Jarrett Jack is so underrated. You know, such a good coaching staff. Mark Jackson's put together, and they're doing really well.
Yep, and the Jazz and the Rockets round out the 8. Now, Lakers there on the cusp. I see them replacing Utah for mine. Well, who is it for you?
No, I don't see them making.
You don't see them making
Playoffs.
No, I think they will. I see them replacing Utah, but look, we see there. Keep us going down the list there.
The Mavericks, who that's a pretty good record given
their list.
Their roster's not that great, and they were looking to bring some free agents into the monster class of next year. Portland Trailblazers, disappointing year for them. I don't
dropped
see
off badly. Yeah,
their direction is not trending upwards.
Well, they have no depth, absolutely no depth, and when you watch them, their 5 starters play 40 minutes. Yep, that's not. When you get to this stage in the season, the reason they've lost the last 7 is because of burnout.
Yep,
simple as that. There's not enough depth in Portland, Minnesota. We talked about them a fair bit. New Orleans there as well.
Well, they just
hold on to that Hornets tag for as long as you can, because soon to be the Pelicans.
That's right. The Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns round out there. The Phoenix Suns,
abysmal.
Tough times ahead.
Yeah, no good at all. But what have we got now? We got.
Well, you've been away, you see. And
actually, I might bring up something before we forget. Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
And their short sleeve jerseys.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
At the start, and looking at pictures, I thought this looks horrible.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a dark day for the NBA. But watching the game, it really looked good. It really translated well through the TV screen. And I think they should keep them, and I think we may even see other teams adopt it because they look sensational.
It's something different.
Well, I don't claim to be a fashion designer. But,
don't be afraid to change,
Yeah.
I reckon, is a good way to go about it.
You hated them though, did you? Or
what's this? I don't know. When I saw the picture, I didn't... we might just get up that picture if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So we'll just chuck that picture up over us while we're talking. But, when I first saw it, I didn't mind it. But it's just the thought of a basketball T-shirt in your mind, without having seen it. But once you see it, it's not too bad. But look, credit to them; they're a great organisation, and they're one of our favourites here at BST.
Absolutely, they are. I'm going to talk about now some of the trades that went down since you went away, and a bit earlier. I'm going to start from probably. Let's start from the start of February. We're going to go back because we haven't really talked about everything that's gone down since then.
So, what do you want from me here? Do you want from me a win?
I want to say just a thumbs up or thumbs down at this point. February 2nd, Atlanta signed Gennaro Pargo to a 10-day contract. Gennaro Pargo now floating around until...
He's signed with Philadelphia for the rest of the year. Yes. I suppose these 10-day contracts come out there just a fix-it thing, aren't they? So, look, they just plugged a hole.
I'm going to skip ahead here. On February 7th, he did sign a 10-day contract with Philadelphia, which is where the signing come from. So, he's probably good enough to be on the list.
Thumbs up.
Miami, February 3rd, reassigned to centre Dexter Pittman to Sioux Falls in the D-League. Dexter Pittman have a future in the NBA? Thumbs down. Here's a really, really good one, which I know you're going to like. I don't care what you think, it has to be a thumbs up. Australia's own Aaron Baines was signed to the San Antonio Spurs from the D-League. Good on you, Aaron Baines. You've been a sensation in the national team for some time and deserve your spot, and please take it with both hands.
Do you reckon Paddy Mills had anything to do with that?
I reckon Brett Brown, assistant coach, who's the head coach of the Australian team at San Antonio, they're building some sort of Australian little bunker down there in San Antonio. Obviously trailblazed by Andrew Gaze back in the day, the pink-haired man himself. But
look out for Luke Longley.
Wow.
Comeback,
Steady. February 8th, Miami signed forward Chris Anderson for the remainder of the season.
I don't mind it. He said he's off-court problems. He's a strange unit of a man. I think that's fair to say.
Yep.
But I don't mind it. They're lacking a real quality. Well, Chris Anderson, he's not quality, but he's solid enough.
He's better than the D-League.
Yeah, and he's better than the centers they've got.
Yeah.
So, thumbs up for me.
Minnesota waved forward Lou Edmondson.
Heartbroken.
Is that a joke? Is that where?
No, I'm really not
taking the piss here. Or?
Because it should read Minnesota wave Greg Steamsma.
That's true.
Not Lou Edmondson.
True.
Because Big Lou, he has a crack, and that's what we've been crying out for from Greg, but he doesn't give us anything.
No, he doesn't.
So it's a thumbs down. I like Lou.
And Minnesota, while we're on the topic of them, they signed forward Mikhail Jalabali from France.
Played for the Seattle Supersonics back in the day as well.
Yes.
So look, I've seen him play a little bit, and look, he's not bad coming off the bench.
And Chris Johnson.
Hustle man, you've actually seen this man play, and you like him.
I like Chris Johnson. He's a big bullocking bull, and we like to see that sometimes.
And more ticker than Greg Steamsma.
Thumbs up for mine on that one. We move on. Houston has signed February 10th. They signed Greg Smith, who's a centre forward, down to the D-League. It's pretty tough, I reckon. Greg Smith's all right.
A little bit tough, yeah. Thumbs down.
Terrence Jones and forward Greg Smith have been recalled, so he's come straight back up.
Thumbs up.
The reason I read that out like that is it cannot be beneficial to a player's confidence to be put down to the D-League and brought back up and put down and brought back up.
How many days in between was that?
4 days. That is just ridiculous.
That's ridiculous,
isn't it? That's the thumb downs for me. Miami signed Dexter Pittman to Sweet Falls on February 18th. Philadelphia signed Jeremy Pargo, which you mentioned earlier. Now the big one, the trade deadline day. Before we get into that, Kenyon Martin signed a 10-day contract with New York, which is he's back from China, so that's good to see.
Good on him.
Thumbs up for you.
I like it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No,
I really do.
Well, you shouldn't.
He is a bull. He's an old bull.
He's a tool.
Did you say bull? Yes, I agree. Let's go.
All right, let's get straight into it. Atlanta traded Anthony Morrow, who, as we know, made a name for himself at Brooklyn,
yes,
to Dallas for Dante Jones, the guard.
Dante Jones. Not
Potential.
Not bad, yeah.
Hasn't been good, but he's got potential.
Of course, remember, of course, when he was playing for Brooklyn, they were the Nets. So if you just had a little space out there at home. But I didn't mind him. I saw him where he dropped 40-odd one game, and he can shoot a ball. Don't worry about that. And he's got a bit of talent about him.
Of course he does.
Give him a chance at Dallas. I think it's a good club for him to go to.
Here's the biggest blockbuster trade. We're going to get into it. It's something that all the league's been talking about. The Golden State traded guard Charles Jenkins and cash to Philly for a protected second-round draft pick.
I think the NBA world froze for a good 10 seconds.
Charles Jenkins.
That's massive. Charles Jenkins. Sounds like one man we do know. Shout out to Charles Jensen if you're watching. But look, it's not a very big move, is it? To be honest, thumbs down. No interest at all. Shouldn't even make the website.
Houston. Now this is a big one.
Yeah.
Houston traded Marcus Morris, who was renowned as the better brother, to Phoenix for a 2013 second-round draft pick. They traded Pat Patterson, who I know you love, Cole Aldridge and Tony Douglas. Remember Tony Douglas from the New York Knicks days to Sacramento for Thomas Robertson, Franny Garcia, and Tyler Honeycutt.
That's a big trade, isn't it?
It's a massive trade.
It's a really big trade.
I'll tell you what, the Houston Rockets, that's the first trade in history of the NBA where they've got a silver platter, Daryl Morey's taken a dump on the platter and offered it to Phoenix, and offered it to Sacramento, and Sacramento's taken it. And given them Thomas Robertson, a future star.
Pick 5, wasn't it?
Oh, pick 8, I think. Or it could be 5, yeah.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it?
Oh, I know Pat Patterson can play a bit, but he's not. He hasn't. The ceiling is. He's at his ceiling right now. He's at his peak. He's not getting any better. None of those guys are getting any better. Franny Garcia and Tyler Honeycutt mean nothing. It's Thomas Robinson is the key piece, and Sacramento must just be shipping their players out in readiness to move to Seattle. Has to be
so. Is Big DeMarc soon to be exiting as well? We'll wait and watch that.
We can talk about it every day. But we move on to the next one. Our favourite of this segment, Dexter Pittman, has been traded by Miami. They've put Dexter Pittman and this year's second round draft pick and cash to Memphis for the draft rights to forward Ricky Sanchez.
I've had enough of Dexter. Can we move on?
Dexter Pittman, he has no relevance in the... Anyway. New York have traded Ronnie Brewer, he's a good one, to Oklahoma City for a 2014 second round draft pick and cash.
Well, it feels a need. Feels a need for OKC. A stopper, good perimeter D. I don't actually mind it.
Yep, it's pretty smart, and it's a second round draft pick. They're going to finish high anyway, so it's not going to be a great pick anyway. And Oklahoma City still under the tax, which is what they want to be. Now this is a big one. Orlando have traded the biggest name in this pool, JJ Redick, and they threw in Gustavo Ione and Ish Smith.
That's like chucking in a Mars bar and a Snickers.
Well, they will amount to nothing. And that's pretty harsh. They're people, but they're shit people in terms of playing basketball. They've traded to Milwaukee. And sorry, Ish Smith and Gustavo Ione. I love you guys.
No, he's
especially
not.
Goose.
He's not.
I am sorry.
Keep going.
Ish Smith, I don't rate. To Milwaukee for Doran Lamb, Bino Udrih, and Toby Harris, Tobias Harris. What are your thoughts on that first before I...
JJ's a big loss, but he's not getting anywhere with Orlando at the stage they're at. So, look, I can see why they've shipped him out. They've got in Lamb, who's a good young kid. Pretty high hopes around him. And don't mind Harris either as well. Udrih, I'm not so sure about. But, look, I think Orlando are doing what they have to. You know, they've got to rebuild that joint down there, and we'll see them back being competitive about 5 years. But it's what they need to do.
Look, I think it was a great move by Orlando, and for JJ Redick's sake, he will leave Milwaukee at the end of this season because he's not signed on.
Yeah, he's only a half year.
And he will hate the freezing snow down in Milwaukee.
Nobody likes Milwaukee.
I
love the franchise
the Bucks.
too.
If I'd love it more if they wore their 1990 retro Bucks on, which we put up on the screen right now, the best jersey you'll ever see. But look, the Magic they can't be paying a 28, 29, 30-year-old guy $10 million a year in their situation. They got two main objectives, the Magic at the minute. Clear the books for cap space and get young guys with massive upside and potential. That's all they're trying to do because they've got the trade exception from Dwight Howard, which is a max deal. So and they got another one too because they traded in a separate trade, which is on here. Hakeem Warwick from Oklahoma City was traded to Orlando, and Orlando traded to Charlotte, from Charlotte to Orlando, and Josh McRoberts was traded out to Charlotte in two separate deals. And what they did.
So where's Warwick now?
Well, Orlando have waived him.
That's a bit harsh. He was playing some alright basketball.
He hasn't got a lot of upside for mine. But the TPE that the Magic had with from Ryan Anderson, who they let go, was going to expire, and they got a new one in 2 separate deals, which brought Warwick back into them. So they lost through McRoberts. Anyway, that's a bit down in the nitty gritty, but it was a really smart move because they have 2 TPEs now. They're going to be very, very big players in the free agent market next year. So good move for them. We move on. Felix have waived the forward Luke Zeller. See you, brother of Tyler. See you later, pal. The whole family's, I was going to say, effed in the head, but we can't say that on TV, so we'll say the whole family's
Screw in the head.
That's rude. You shouldn't say that about people. Toronto traded centre Hamad Haddadi and a 2014 second round draft pick to Phoenix for Sebastian Telfair. And we're going to put up a picture on the cover now of Sebastian Telfair there next to LeBron James. These 2 guys are going to take the NBA by storm. One did, one didn't, Tim.
One did, one didn't. Yes, he was supposed to be a dynamo, Sebastian Telfair, much in the mould of this man who we're going to get up now. I've thrown this in, yes I have, this man right here. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one and only Johnny Flynn, who this man here said to me he is going to be one of the best point guards in the NBA. Now, you said he had so much upside, he was a star at Minnesota.
I honestly believe that, and I still think he can make it back and have a real impact on NBA.
And he's ended up being traded from Minnesota at the time to Houston for Brad Miller.
Yep. And now he's in the NBL with the Melbourne Tigers. So
sensational. Long-term.
I'm going to put it out there, BST Weekly viewers, our long-term goal is to have an interview with the great Johnny Flynn by the end of this year. I'll put it out there. Let's try and get it done. If you can help us out, any fans out there, hit us up, and very, very, very good to get that one. But I wonder if just on the Telfair trade, I wonder if LeBron James would get you more of a package, more or less than Hamad Haddadi and a second-round pick.
Oh, well, maybe or maybe not. Maybe a Castillo Ion, your favourite, would be LeBron's pulling power. But look, we wait and see.
The last one, Washington traded guard Jordan Crawford, which is pretty significant, to Boston for Jason Collins and Leandro Barbosa, who under an injury cloud at the minute. So, fiscal move for mine.
Well, Boston, no. What are you doing? Listen to us at BST. Stop getting in these old guys. You're done. You're not going to win the ship. Now, why are they clogging up their roster with old people?
Oh, I honestly don't know, mate.
Stop it.
It's a fair call. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I just don't get it. But what can you say? Who are the big winners over the trading period, over the time?
Well, Toronto. Obviously, I mean they're really seen an improvement in performance. Whether that can continue, I'm not overly sure. But look, they seem to be doing quite well. I don't know. The trade didn't really affect Memphis as much, to be honest. Other than that, really, it wasn't that big a trade period for mine.
It didn't reach the standards you thought it would?
Maybe the expectations were too high. I mean, there are a few deals in there, yeah, sure, and there was talk, but I suppose the first trade period after the whole Dwight saga is going to be a bit more, low key, isn't it? Because that was just ridiculous. But
as well, the new fiscal financial laws they've put in have really another thing that we'll talk about next week. Miami's going to have to trade one of their big 3 because they won't be able to afford to keep them after this season. So it's really brought not a real club.
Hello, Caleb. Yes, continue.
No, that's all. I just think I think the financial laws have done what they set out to do, and I think it'll be a bit more of an even playing field financially from here on out.
Are they going back to the Charlotte Hornets, or are they keeping the Bobcats tag? Have I missed anything while I've been away?
I still think it's up in the air. I think
Would you like to see Charlotte Hornets?
I'd like to see Charlotte Hornets. I don't think it'll get. I think they're too far into their rebranding now to go back. But It's got to be the Bobcats just have a bad stigma over it.
The NBA wants Charlotte Hornets again, don't they?
I think so.
What I understand.
Yeah.
And is there any more word on the new Seattle group? On a name? Surely they've got to be close to submitting that.
No, well, it's not.
Really?
They're trying to fight to keep them in Sacramento, even though it's not going to happen. But there's all the legal ramifications.
So it's not actually done.
Well, it's done, but it's
they're
what do you call it? Appealing or whatever, and it'll be something. It won't be this till the end of the year. I wouldn't at least.
Yeah.
At least, but. I think it wraps us up pretty much for NBA.
Yeah, I think so too. Look, we're getting close now. I think how many games are left in the season? I think there must only be 30.
It's well over halfway. So.
Yeah, 30 games left. Exciting
times.
I cannot wait for the conference finals. I'm not even looking at the East. I'm looking at the West. They are going to be a serious finals series.
It's going to be really exciting, especially the conference finals and
the semi-final.
Yep, yeah, really good. Before we go, I'm going to have a quick shout out, should I say, to one of our loyal followers,
a friend of ours
here at BST Weekly, and certainly a friend of mine. We go way back. Amy Collis, who has created a really, really, really good group. I can't give this enough credit. It is quite sensational, to be honest. It's only new, but the amount of information and really good stuff that they put out is quite sensational. Food, fitness, and inspiration. That's food. We'll have it up on the bottom here. Food, fitness, and inspiration. It's a group on Facebook, and it goes through everything to do with food, fitness, things that are good for your body. There's a few inspirational quotes in there as well. A few sort of funny photos, interesting clips in there as well.
Show the cover photo so they.
Here's the cover photo here, as you can see. Hope you can see that at home there, and we can scroll down. But look, that's sensational stuff, and have a follow of that. We'll have the link up, and they've done really well. And get onto that one, guys.
Yeah, exactly. They're really good friends of ours, so we'd be honoured if you took the time to follow them as well. But look, another week in NBA done. As I said before, we're continuing to get closer and closer. Hopefully we see Kevin Love back very shortly. Talk is he could be back this week. Fingers crossed there, because we love to see the best players in the league back playing, and you love to see him back playing because he's in your fantasy side. But from Joey here and myself, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for welcoming me back, Joey. I look forward to it next week.
Don't forget, Tim.
BST Weekly.